It is indeed my honor and privilege to introduce to the ArtSupply.com world community one of our most respected and beloved members, and that is Seldar, who has had the experience of being able to assist many people in their creative processes, and to, as he puts it, help people make peace with between their mind and their body. So, without further ado, I would just like to maybe address a few questions to Seldar, and then he can talk about his perspective and understanding. So, Seldar, welcome.
Thank you.
And now this, we are at ArtSupply.com website, and we would like to hear some of your reflections about the process of creativity and how it manifests in the world.
Okay. Thank you for your warm words. And I am myself honored to be part of your community. What I do is I see life in the deepness of it, and mostly in the simplicity of life. And when I zoom into the true light, let's say, and where I get the ideas and the concept of, I mean, we all get the same concept, but from the same light. But what I came up with was the creativity, how light creates itself through the energy and then plays it, acts on its own creativity in the form of matter. So I came up with that idea, and I'm trying to share with the whole humanity. So far I'm not that successful yet, but that's understandable because it's not that easy to just get it, like, you know. So that's how the creativity comes from the light and goes into the memory source as in the form of energy, and then plays that acts the role of creativity in the form of matter. So in life, as a form of life as we represent on earth, in the physical bodies, we are playing all three roles in the same one body. We are the light's energy source and the matter at the same time. There are no such a thing as a separately light, separately energy, and separately matter. They are all three at all time. They are together. So that's basically the idea of creativity, which we are in the process to get that concept together in order to be able to create on our own, being as a physical matter and going backward, recognizing the energy and recognizing the light as a source itself. So we are playing physical reality, like out that idea of light, but now we have to understand of who we are, and then by using the energy as an information source, going back to the light. So to have that whole unifying field, let's say, that is the creativity, if you will.
Mm-hmm. So, in this process of an individual taking in the light and integrating it in a way to form a creative expression, how does that individual do that? What's the, in your understanding, what's the way that I as an individual can manifest more of this creativity through the light and into matter?
Mm-hmm. That is actually a simple, very simple. Life created that simple understanding of that light, energy, and matter concept. It is interpreted in original idea, and then you establish that idea, and then third one would be the result of that initial idea. That's the three parts again. The creation, the idea is a light itself, and then you establish it, which matches with the energy, and then as a result, as a matter, you have a result of creation, which is the third part, which is the result. So we have a 1, 2, 3 at all time repeating. For us, it would be, if you have creative mind idea, any idea which you have to be in a present moment, consciously become aware of that idea first, and then establish it, just follow it, go with it, and then you will see the result of that initial idea. What we do for now, our ideas are scattered. That's why we call it, we have a disbalances in the energy field, if you know what I'm talking about. And we try to heal that, fix that energy field, which doesn't make that energy fix in any ways, because it follows again 1, 2, 3. It has original idea, and then it collects the memory of it, and then it results in the matter. So by fixing only the energy, we cannot accomplish the whole trinity of life.
Yes. So if I understand, if an individual is hampered in his expression of the creativity into taking the idea and making a new creation, in your experience, how does a person, through these imbalances, how does a person get back into a balance where he's able to be this manifester of the creativity?
Okay. We as a creators and as a form of, as a matter, as a result of the light through the energy and the final materialization of the light, we have that body which we call, which plays as a co-creator, if you will, and it is also helps us to self-regulate. If you, let's say, if you didn't get the concept right, let's say, and you moved away from the original idea, the life formed in the body in such a way there are beings inside, the same as we are on earth level. We, in the body, we have communities which has lower life expectancies than us as a unit, as a whole magnificent being. We have beings inside who has, as a collective conscious beings, as we call them, organs and body parts, which has the lessened life expectancy than ours. So it allows us, the original divine idea is and was that it allows us to, by acting certain way, let's say we misled, we got confused, which is okay. The body replicates my actions based on the energy and the original light form, let's say. And then the community gets out of control. By getting out of control, it demands attention. Let's say if I hurt myself by getting too close to the object which was on the side, that through the body, by touching that corner of a table, let's say, it gives me the signal to move away from that object. So that is the self-regulating mechanism. That's the purpose of the body. So internally we have the same communities which works the same way. So if we are not understanding the concept correctly, there is a body beings inside which corrects us in the form of discomfort, which we call disease, which the whole idea of calling that disease is not correct. But because we are in the beginning of evolutionary process of life overall, that is okay. And I compared our development, our intelligence to the 5 years old child, so it will give you the perspective of, as a humanity overall, the way we act today matches with the attitude of a child, which again learns based on discomforts and does something impatiently and hurts himself and whatnot. So, and then experiences one way or another, and then eventually gets the idea of how to do or how not to do, let's say. So we are on the same level, and the body is created for that purpose, to bring us back to the original idea of creation. So we couldn't get off of it. So that's why we have the body, which is designed to bring us to the original divine order, which has the light, energy, and matter. So that's why we have that set already, but the interpretation is not correct so far. We interpret the body kind of in a different way, call it disease, and I matched it to prove my point that there is no disease. I matched the body to the earth, and it matches perfectly, undeniably. So the attitude of the whole humanity is exactly the same as body organs in our body. So that again, if you look outside in our society, you see how the society corrects itself too. You have an interaction between the government and the people, which is interaction between the mind and the body, the same action. So as exactly as the body corrects our mind on the individual level, the people are correcting the, we call it corrupt mind, government mind, which is on the individual level, is a corrupt as a childish mind on the individual level, which body tries to correct to bring to the same concept, to the same divine idea of light, energy, and matter, and which is the original idea of life, and love, and then establish it in order to bring that result, to get that result finally.
Yes, So, I got it. So you're saying that within our body is kind of the microcosm of this process, and then it's reflected externally in the society as the macrocosm, as the manifest, how it is within, it's reflected externally. And when, are you saying that when an individual within his body is not in balance and there are some diseases, as we maybe incorrectly call them, manifest? And then also we see that happen externally in communities where people become in conflict and they don't help each other but hurt each other. So, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the question that occurs to me, so let us say either in the microcosm or within your body or in the macrocosm of what's going on in the world, in communities, when it's off balance, when it's not, when it's manifesting in some disturbance rather than the light manifesting, what can be done? What can be done when either within a person or within a community there is a condition of being out of balance and it not generating the desired effect of pure creativity?
Okay. In order to answer that question, let me just give you that perspective of how what's inside matches, how exactly it matches what's inside with what outside. There are, I'm going to touch it briefly. There are about 200 types, plus minus 200 types of cells in the body, which makes up all the body cells, body organs and the body parts. And there are 6 glands, the endocrine system glands, which operates on the 6th level. And there are 70 to 80% of liquid in the body. And that's the physicality of this reality, which is the first reality which we have to master. And then on the outside, on Earth, we finally reached that alignment, if you will. We have plus minus about 200 countries on Earth, and which are located on 6 glands, 6 continents. See, I'm getting so close to them, I even switched the names, gland with the continent. We have 70 to 80% of water on Earth. And that is the second reality which we have to kind of expand our consciousness to. So that's where we are today. And there's another invisible reflection of what's inside is reflected outside. So it finally matched together. And for the other invisible reflection of our reality is the mind, so-called. So individually, because we don't know who we are yet, we act towards the body beings by, I have set the way how I explain the body so everybody recognizes that first on individual level. It is we use our body, we abuse our body, we take advantage of our body, and we disrespect our body. Again, not knowing what we are, which is okay so far, right? On the individual level. To get that idea that it is not okay to act towards yourself, what we need to do is we have to love ourselves, right? We heard that concept before too, but we never got the idea how to love because we didn't know who we are first. So now, if you look at the reflection on the outside, since the physical reality matched itself to the physical reality on the outside, the mind reflected in a government system. Let me prove my point why it matched and why I came up with that idea. Because the body, all the communities, the created, combined together, created the whoever we are. We are all the names which we put on ourselves. We are the results of a collective consciousness of all the beings inside of individual body. So that's why we have names, just to kind of summarize the whole. Like on Earth, it would be called the Earth, which is the result of collective consciousness of all the living beings. So the same way we are the results of collective consciousness of all of them. So now that whatever that my mind is called, my name, let's say, acts towards the body by using them, abusing them, taking advantage of them, and disrespecting them, not understanding the whole concept of the creativity of a divine order, let's say. So on a reflection level, we, since it's the matter to matter, it repeats the same action. It's the second reality is a reflection. It created its own reflection. I mean, the same way as the body beings, body communities created me, let's say, we, as a result of our collective consciousness, we created the government system the same way. So if you look at the government system, like we have a countrywide, like every country has the government system, it is the system which meant to serve the body, which is the country individually, and now we are going on a global level. So it is the normal process, how it should be. But since we don't have a correct understanding of it, we have some issues in that level, on that level. So now the result of our collective consciousness, which is the government system, acts exactly the same way as we individually do to ourselves, which is uses us, abuses us, takes advantage of us, and disrespects us. I mean, I am not going against, you see, as I said, individually, you all would agree with it. That's what we do individually. So that's why the reflection outside plays exactly the same way. As we don't know what we are, the reflection doesn't know and acts exactly the same way. Since it is a reflection, it must act as a reflection too. So we don't have that, we have that separation, if you will. You see my point? Mm-hmm. It is, the reflection outside helps us to bring our awareness to the original design of a divine order, of a creativity, who we are. That's why we have the reflection outside, to show us how to come together and how to recognize yourself and how to bring love, which is the original idea, and how to go with yourself, bring that peace, go with the peace and with the love, which we don't have outside so far because of that concept, which
yes.
we don't go inside within us.
Yes. So let's say that, as I understand, you're saying that the maybe the abuse and the manipulation that we see externally in our society, a person confronts, that this is a reflection of internally how we are within our being. So, as an artist who sees this and wants to express and to express this and share it with others, how would you say, yeah, and with the goal of bringing back some things, having a better result in the world, where the world is a better place, and we are in a better place. What would you say? What would you say about an artist? How could he make a statement to bring things on a higher plane or more harmonious plane?
Every artist, the idea of art is still the idea of light itself, and the light itself as a creation of a whole, the concept of colors and mixture of colors and all of the variety of colors, which shows the combinations of the light itself, how whenever it plays itself out, it has to create the colors which we, as a form of light, as a matter, which as a result of the original idea. That's why we are the same way, we are unique in the same way as each color is, the spectrum of a color. That's who we are. We are lights, but once you change the spectrum a little bit, it creates a variety of different colors which experiences themselves in, let's say, on a computer world, you will say the pixels. So we are all the pixels of that light form which interacts and processes life, experiences life in the form of human body. If you take the light and you as an artist, you understand what I'm just gonna say. If you match all colors, all the primary colors, if you mix them equal amount, equal measure, equal, and then mix them, it will turn to the white color. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. So what that means is when you have a color, that means the white color is disbalanced. In order to bring to the original white color, you need to balance the colors together. So the art which we are in, and we are the part of that art, which as you paint the picture, you show that you mix the original light and form it in a variety of colors to express the life, the art of life. But what helps express it is the mixture of the variety of combinations of us, or you want to call it the colors, let's say. So in order to master the art, let's say, we need to look up to how to balance ourselves, as well as, we are making balancing the colors, but we need to also bring ourselves to the same balance concept, and that way you can master the art of light.
In this process of mastering the art of life, is there, what is your experience? How does one do that? How does one go from wherever one is at, which maybe is not this kind of as much a mastery as we would like, to more and more of mastery? What's your experience?
On a physical level, on a body level, we have, again, as I said, we have a setup of communities inside, which, based on their life expectancy, they are demanding attention. By demanding attention, they are forcing us to balance. They are now forcing us, but eventually expecting us to bring that balance on our own. As I said, we have that childish perception of life yet. We are not there yet, but we are young artists, if you want to call it. So we're growing up slowly, and the body itself gives the signal how to create that inner art, which would reflect outside, and we would have that benefit outside. So far, what we have is kind of, again, as if you have a child, let's say 5 years old child, if that child paints it's going to look like messing with the colors and nothing. He doesn't put his mind into it yet. He just plays with the colors, and then gets distracted and gets kind of frustrated, even himself, and that's where we are now. But the mastering those colors and the bringing to the balance to the original idea of creation, which is a light, is that child mastering that finger painting, let's say, process which we are in right now, and gradually kind of getting to that concept. But on the body level, on our physical level, we have we have organs which are actually communities. They are not the diseased organs or body parts. They are very intelligent, collective, conscious beings, which designed to bring us to that balanced state, to the light form, which to recognize to the balance, to the light form, and then we should consider those demands not as a disease forms, but as a kind of signal to communication, let's say, towards us, which need to kind of see the life differently, adapt to life differently. So follow the body signals instead of forcing the body go with you, let's say, with your primitive mind, if you will. Respectfully, we have to understand that we are primitive on the level of universe, so that's why I'm using that term to just kind of show where we are. And if you look at the reflection level, we will have that reflection reflected on the outside. So that would be the government following the people as it originally designed. I'm not saying something which is like nobody heard of. It is the original design. So nobody follows that. That's a different thing. That exactly shows where we are on a development level. But original design was to follow the people. So original design in the body is to follow the body itself. So that will bring to the original concept of love and the balance.
In this process, what comes up, I think, for many of us are what I would call negative emotions. In other words, a person feels frustration and maybe is out of balance or something, and things like anger and greed and things that where we we experience what I call negative emotions, emotions that cause us and often others pain. Do you have any thoughts about how that connects with this whole process? What's the best way for an individual to work with those feelings that come up?
Mm-hmm. There is no such a thing on the body level. There is no negative or positive. There is a law which is called negative feedback. In order to know good, you have to experience bad too, or vice versa. So there is no such a thing you can live in a good, positive emotional level all the time. You wouldn't know what the positive is without the negativity. The question is how often you are repeating those emotions. That's what replicates the cells inside of that certain specific organ which is responsible for that or this emotion. And then by multiplying those cells in that organ or body part, they get out of control and then demand attention that way, which we call disease or pain or discomfort. So basically what I'm saying is when we repeat the same emotion over and over over and over again, we basically creating certain regime on outside reflection. That's why I like to compare in and out. It gives you kind of the concept which corrects your mind. The outside would be, which we call it like a regime, when you repeat the same law in a country based on the government system, we call it regime. And if it goes like 10, 20, 30 years, we call it dictatorship. So that's why we have a balanced form. The ideal kind of at this level is like 4 years of governing the society, which gives the people to switch their interests, like what they want, and at the same time the system itself acts differently, like one way or another. That's why we have two-party governing system too. But it should be in the present moment. You don't need to repeat the same emotion over and over again, no matter where you are currently. Life is designed in such a beautiful form, knowing that we are primitive on that level. We don't have the idea of life overall and not understanding what's going on. It created that environment which we are in, allowing us to think constantly in the present moment. Wherever you go, you see things and you are exposed to something, and someone triggers you differently than 5 minutes ago or whatnot. It allows you to kind of exchange the emotions within you, which equally, in a balanced way, if you are in the present moment, spreads throughout the whole communities within your body. If you choose to repeat one emotion on one level, it gives feedback to one organ or one body part. That creates the disease or discomfort because it is the disbalance. So you have a 200 plus minus communities in your body or body parts which you are responsible to pay attention to, but you're choosing 1 or 2 or 3 or 5. That creates kind of disbalance. So that's where we are on a outside reality level too. So this is the way how we can manage, and how the emotions actually helping, and they are designed to help, but you need to stay in the present state and process any emotions which are coming without any judgment, without saying, oh, I'm not going to go there, I'm not going to talk that way. You must talk, but you need to stop talking as soon as it ends at that moment. Like, go with the flow, we call it. So that's the way how to go. And then body, based on the life expectancy, the old regimed cells, if you're not feeding them up, they would die out, and then new generations of cells will come up. And that's why it self-regulates, as exactly in our society. If you have one regime, all the communities will follow that regime. So if you want to change the regime, let's say we have a different system now, and we need to change the regime because that regime bothers us in some way, that doesn't mean we have to kill all the old regime people in order to recreate it or create the new regime. So that's what we exactly do in our body too. As soon as we don't like the feedback, the reflection of our attitude on a physical level, we kill them, and not even changing our attitude at the same time. At least if we could change the attitude and then do something, that would make much more sense. But we don't do that. We don't have that concept yet. So we kill them and then continue acting the same way. And on a global level, on a country, the government level, we have the same thing. They don't like when the people are rising against them. They won't change the regime, but they want to kind of eliminate people or move them away or restrict them from moving against the system, exactly the same way as we heal ourselves. That's why I'm not the healer. I'm trying to bring peace between mind and the body, and of course peace need to be outside too, which won't become, we will never have a peace outside without having inside, since it's a reflection outside of attitude inside.
Yes. Let me ask one more question, because your words have been so inspiring. Say the creative people watching this video, and many of them, I think, will have some inspiration to want to, I want to be a force towards bringing more light, more happiness, more joy in the world. Could you just give a few reflections of how, well, in your experience, how one can be this kind of agent of making life better?
Again, as I said earlier, the art itself, the way we put in paintings, let's say, or we imagine the colors and some ideas which are not from this reality, at least it seems like they are not from this reality. We basically interpreting this life, our experience on this physical level, we are interpreting, we've seen the views of this life in that interpretive way of in the form of art, let's say. So what I wish everyone who watches me, especially with the art abilities, by understanding the concept of life, since we are all anyways the human beings, of course we have all the variety of magnificency of whole life and light and love and all of that is within us. Just while you're doing whatever you do, with the expressing yourself, creating the ideas in your way, just have this concept of life form which created you in the first place inside of your body. I mean, I'm sure and I know that everyone has some physical issues. You can't not have it, because we are all have that predisposition of genetic predisposition of all the issues, like ancestors, passing through. We must have some issues. That's why we are here, to kind of balance those concepts which we built in. So by understanding the whole idea that way, at least my way, just getting some of it, at least, not all, maybe it's gonna take some time, but at least some of these concepts, and applying to your art in whatever form you want to express yourself, but with this understanding of life and art within you, and then expressing it, that would make more sense, and that the interpretation of your life inside, since it is originally, it is what you do, what we all put on painting, we express ourselves that way. Since it is that way, but it would make more sense if you really look inside and see what you made out of originally. What was the idea of you originally, and then kind of expressing yourself would make much more sense, if you will. Great. That is the original design. It's not my idea, though. It is the original design. The expressing ourselves through the art was part of how to bring the idea towards ourselves. Anything, whatever we do, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we hear, the way we sense, all the senses are designed to recognize who we are originally. So original concept of creation stays that way. It is a light, energy, and matter, and we have to master it backward, kind of having the whole idea set up.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and enjoy life. Life is beautiful. I love you all. Take care. Thank you.